State calls Robert Block.
Okay. Mr. Block, if you could put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. Once you sit down and you're comfortable, can you state your full name for the record and spell your last name, please?
Yeah, Robert Block, B-L-O-C-K.
All right. Prosecutor, when you're ready.
Okay. Mr. Block, good afternoon. Can you tell us what you do for a living?
Currently, I'm a professional services engineer at Fortinet.
Okay. Now, I want to take you back to the time frame of, say, 2018. Remember that time and where you were working then?
Yeah.
Where'd you work then?
Square One.
Okay. Now, Square One, what does Square One do?
We're an information technology company, integrator, reseller.
Okay. And did you work in a specific location or context within Square One back in 2018?
Well, I worked as a senior systems engineer. Went to clients, worked from home sometimes and in the office.
Now, where was the office back then in 2018?
Asbury Park.
Had it always been there?
No. No, when I started in 2004, it was in Homedale.
Okay. So, approximately how long as of November 2018 had you worked for Square One?
14 years.
Now, who was in charge of Square One? Who owned it?
Well, Keith was the president and Paul was the vice president.
Okay, when you say Paul, what are you talking about?
Paul Caneiro.
Okay, you're nodding in that direction. Is Mr. Caneiro in the room?
Yes.
And could you just point him out? Sorry.
It's identifying the defendant.
Now, taking you back to the time frame of November 2018, I want to ask you about, prior to that time period specifically, had you done anything with respect to infrastructure at Keith Caneiro's home?
Yeah. I helped out with setting up some switches, firewalls, servers, things like that.
And why were you helping out there?
Because I worked for the company.
Was it all company infrastructure?
Yeah, that was company related. Yeah, I mean, he had two firewalls. One was kind of private for his private link. The other was for their companies.
Okay. Now, did you in 2018, did you install some additional security devices or the like within the infrastructure in Mr. Caneiro's basement, Keith Caneiro?
I think we replaced some stuff. I mean, it's hard, it's a while ago.
Sure.
Yeah, so I mean, just like upgrade some things maybe, move some things from. We had moved from Homedale. Obviously, I think that was 2012. A lot of stuff from Homedale from the Homedale office to his basement.
Was there a point in time that you put in some monitoring software within?
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, somewhere around 2016 maybe.
Now, what was the reason for doing that?
Just so because we had a web server, so there was a web server running. I think at that time I don't think there was any email. It was just a web server, and then we had some other database, and it was to monitor that hardware because there was an issue where the UPS had a bad battery. Maybe I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was a bad battery, and so when he lost power to the house, it would take 20 seconds for the generator to kick in, maybe 15 seconds. So the power went out completely one time because the generator took over, but it was like that delay because the UPS didn't kick in. So the batteries were replaced after that, and then we started monitoring.
Just so we all understand, what's a UPS?
An uninterruptible power supply.
Okay. So were these things that you replaced or upgraded in prior to 2018 in Mr. Caneiro's basement?
Yes.
Okay. Now, with respect to the monitoring software, were you able to, once that stuff was installed, were you able to, check in on the firewall and make sure everything was all right?
Well, yeah, we'd get an email alert if there was a problem, like if there was a power failure or if there was some other network connectivity issue, or maybe we did some other monitoring, some what's called SNMP. Maybe it was simple network management protocol is what we use to monitor devices and things.
Okay. Now, I want to draw your attention to the morning of November 20th, 2018. Do you recall waking up that morning?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recall whether or not you received an email with respect to something work-related.
Yeah, so the Pulseway was the cloud-based monitoring tool we used, and that basically, there was an alert that the server was offline by the firewall. I don't remember exactly, but it was basically when I got up to get ready for work, I noticed the email.
Now, based upon receiving that email, did you do anything?
Yeah, I text Paul just to ask him what, if he knew if there was a power out issue at Keith's house. And then,
Now, with respect to getting that email, do you recall approximately what time you actually saw that email?
I don't remember off the top of my head. It was sometime in the early morning because, I was getting ready to go out to the customers, so that would be when I saw the email. Woke up, probably checked the email, maybe after I got in the shower. I don't remember exactly.
Now, when you received that email, was it an email that had just come through, or did it come through prior to
It came
seeing
through
it?
early in the morning. It probably came through sometime in the early a.m. I don't know, 4:30 maybe, 4:30, 3:30. I don't remember exactly.
Sure. Now, do you recall back in 2018, or actually early 19, whether or not you were interviewed by detectives about
Yes.
some of this information?
Yeah, I think that was early 2019.
Okay. And you recall giving a statement that was typed out?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to approach you and show you what the mark is. S346. Do you recognize what that is?
Yeah,
Okay, and what is it?
a statement.
Okay, and a statement of who?
For me.
Okay. Now, does that have your signature on the last page, page 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I just going to direct your attention to page 2. And I just want you to take a look, maybe read the first few sentences to yourself, and then I'll ask you a question. Does that refresh your recollection as to receiving the email and the timing of that?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you recall approximately what time you saw the email based upon having your recollection refreshed?
It had to be around 7:30, I guess, based on this.
Okay. And did that refresh your recollection as to what time approximately that email actually came?
Yeah.
What time was that?
3:18.
Okay. Was that AM?
Yes.
That was November 20th of 2018?
Yes.
Now, you indicated previously that when you saw that alert, you texted Paul, right?
Yes.
Okay. And why did you text Paul?
Just from previous experience, like Paul would, if there was an outage, like a power outage, I think Keith would have reached out to him. Just my own, experiences in the past.
Sure. So you talked about the fact earlier that Keith's house had a generator, correct?
Yes.
And did that assist with ensuring that power didn't go down often at that house?
Yeah. That's the idea. Yeah.
And so assume for a second that power goes out to the residents from the street, like the actual power goes off. Prior to the generator kicking on, what is the UPS's function?
Just to keep the gear, live, give supply power to the, it's a battery in there that basically would run when there's no line from the utility.
Okay.
So it would run for, I think what we had in there, maybe, it could have ran for like 10 minutes, I'm not sure, I don't remember. It wasn't designed to run for extended period. It's just to really handle that transfer from the line to the generator.
Okay. Now, you were talking about why you texted Paul Caneiro, and that was because, why?
Because again, in the past, if I would, based on my own, assumption, if there was an outage, he would have texted Paul. Keith would have contacted him. Sorry.
Okay.
He would have been in contact just because I knew how close they were.
Sure. Now, who was most aware of the infrastructure, the Square One EcoStore infrastructure in Keith's basement?
Like everything?
Yeah, like all the stuff for the businesses, the server, the firewall, that stuff.
Paul knew what was there. Yeah.
And did
I mean,
you?
he was- yeah, I did too. Yeah. I think it was. I would say we both knew. Paul helped set up that gear as well.
Were you involved in helping to set up the infrastructure down there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if from the beginning, but obviously over time, when I got in there, I couldn't say. He probably set it up in the beginning, the initial configurations. Maybe helped with it. It's a long time ago.
Sure. When you put in the updates, the UPS devices and the Pulseway, did you do that yourself or did someone help you?
I think it did it maybe with someone else. I mean, could have been Paul helping. It's a while ago.
Now, I just want to approach with what's been marked as S347. I'm just going to ask you to take a look at that to yourself, see if you recognize what that is.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that?
Text messages between me and Paul.
Okay. And do those appear to be accurate based upon your recollection of the exchange that you have with Mr. Caneiro that morning?
Yeah.
Okay. And if I could go back to the first page, does it indicate who sends the first message in that interaction?
I do.
Okay. Does it indicate the time that it was sent or read?
Yes.
Okay, what time?
4:03
Okay.
UTC. 4:03 a.m. So.
You had an interaction
Yeah.
here on the bottom, right? This is a
Yeah,
message
yeah.
from who to who?
That's from Paul to me.
Okay, what's that say there, time-wise?
Oh, is it this one? This one. Oh, this one 4:38. Sure.
Okay. Just going to show you again. S347. Sorry, my eyes are... Does that say, the first time on here, you to Paul, does that say 804?
Oh, sorry. That says 2021-18. 8:04:03. I'm sorry.
The
My
eight-
eyes are.
It's okay, the 8 carries over from the 20.
I see. Yeah, it's 8:04:38.
Now, the entirety of those messages that are in front of you, do they accurately reflect the interaction that you had with Mr. Caneiro that day?
Yeah.
Ask for permission to publish.
I don't know whose witness this is.
I don't think we have an objection, Judge.
Okay,
Thank you.
great.
You can see, you can look at the messages or you can look at the screen in front of you, but what's on the screen in front of you, is that consistent with the messages that are on S347, the piece of paper?
Yeah.
Now, we scroll down a little bit. This interaction is between you and Mr. Paul Caneiro, correct?
Yes.
And again, who sends the first message?
I.
And what did you say?
Hey, it looks like the firewall is down at Keith's house.
Okay. And was there a response?
Yes.
Okay. And what was that response?
I had a fire at my house. The place went up early this morning.
And that was from who?
Paul.
Okay. We're going to the next message. What did you say next?
Whose house?
And why did you say that if you were...
Oh, I was confused because I had sent him the text that was the firewalls are down at Keith's house. So I was just confused. That's all.
Okay. And then the response from Mr.
My house.
Okay. And then what?
Around 5 a.m. from Paul.
And then did he say something again?
Yep, I can't talk now.
Okay. And then what did you say?
I said, oh man, everyone okay?
What did he say?
Yes.
And then you said, oh,
Okay, talk to you later. TTYL.
okay. And then he said what?
Later.
And then what was the last message Mr. Paul Caneiro sent you?
I'll let you know when I hear from Keith.
All right.
He texted me during the night about the electric being out.
That was, who's saying that?
From Paul.
Okay. And then what?
3 a.m.
Okay. And what did you say?
Let me know if you need anything. I'm covering Duke 10 to 6 today, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And what's Duke, just so we understand?
Doris Duke Charitable Foundation, the Duke Farms specifically.
Okay. And then, what, if anything, did Mr. Paul Caneiro say?
Okay.
Did you say anything?
Later on, I said, how are you managing? How bad was the fire? That was at 422, I guess.
Was there any response?
No.
Now, in talking about Doris Duke, was that a client of Square One's?
Yes.
Okay, was that something that you had or did you have any interaction with Doris Duke?
Yes.
Okay. Were you on scene there sometimes?
I was on site. I did project work, covered support because we had managed help desk, and we had, at that time, 3 people pretty much every day. That was
Now, what was going on in around the time of November 20th, 2018? What was going on with the Square One and Duke contract?
I was up for renewal.
Okay. Now, were you aware of whether or not anyone from Duke had met with anyone from Square One?
I know Keith was in discussions with them. I didn't, I don't remember meetings specifically.
Sure. Now, you weren't privy to those meetings, correct?
No.
And do you know who Keith was interacting with specifically from Duke?
Uli Basu.
Uli Basu? Okay. Do you know whether or not any proposals had been transmitted or sent to Doris Duke?
I think they were. I don't remember exactly. It wasn't sent to me to propose to them.
Sure. So fair to say, as of, the days leading up to November 20th of 2018, were you aware of what ultimately the status was going to be in 2019 for Doris Duke and Square One?
I mean, only that Uli was talking about maybe.
Objection. Sustain. Cross.
Thank you, Jeff. Mr. Block, good afternoon. So, basically, Keith had the servers for the businesses in his basement. Okay. And your recollection is that you and Paul were kind of both involved in setting up that infrastructure?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I heard you answer before about being at Keith's house for work purposes or other purposes. The firewalls that you were setting up, did you set up both the firewall for the businesses and his personal firewall?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did the business. It could have been Paul set up the personal one. I mean, but I had access to it and could manage it if we needed to make changes.
Okay.
So I mean, I can't really remember who set up.
Right.
If I had to, this goes back probably 10 years, more. So
Right.
I think it could have been Paul who set them up initially.
But you could have had...
I got
some
help with
kind of-
configuring them. I mean, I had access to them, yeah.
Okay. You had access to
If
the
I had to
personal...
get in there. On the personal one, I don't think I ever really logged in there. Maybe, it was more like if Keith had a problem with his internet. If there was, thought it was a fire related, maybe he'd want me to take a look. But I wouldn't log in without asking.
Were they both on the same... So I don't really know how this works. Were they both on the same UPS?
Yes, but they had different internet circuits.
Would you get the notification for either of them?
I don't know if I got it from his home firewall. I think it was just like I said, more for the services and the firewall that was business related.
Now, you were obviously mostly on site at
Different customers.
customers of the business, right?
Yeah.
You didn't spend a lot of time at the actual Square One office?
Probably in Asbury Park a little more at that time. There was times where I also helped with building that out. I helped Paul and some of the other guys, we built, just putting in some of the switches and phones and making sure everything was working,
Okay.
But I spent some time in the office when I wasn't at client sites, yeah. If I was working on like documentation, things like that, then I'd be in the office. Project work, I'd be on site.
Did you, being on site, would it be fair to say that you talked to Keith pretty regularly?
Yeah, especially like the last couple of years, I spoke to him a little more frequently, than I had previously. It's, from maybe to like 2013, I didn't interact with him as much. From 2004 to 2013, much more after that, like after Sandy, that time frame.
How often would you say you were over at Keith's house around 2017, 2018?
Probably, like maybe once a week, if possibly. We would get lunch, do some, discuss some things that business related, and then get lunch.
Okay.
Or I'd pick him up, he would drive to Duke. He came there a few times where he was covering. I would drive to his house, so in Middletown, I'd drive to Gold Snack, and then he would drive to Duke.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we spent time in the car, talking, things like that.
Obviously, I think you said in the statement that Mr. Decker showed you that you knew that Paul was over at Keith's house pretty often around that time, right?
Yeah.
And that's because both Keith would tell you that, and also you would see Paul there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Keith had another brother named Corey, right?
Yes.
Were you aware that there was a time period when Corey was living in the basement of Keith's house?
I was not, no.
And did you ever see Corey at Keith's house?
I don't remember. I don't remember like seeing him there when I was there. Maybe one time, like it's a while ago.
You said that the UPS would keep the servers on for about 10 minutes?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And you got the notification at 3:18 that morning?
That's when the email came through, yeah, but I wasn't looking at my email yet.
Well, the thing is, is it your understanding that the email would be generated when the servers lose connection? Is that the moment in time that email would be generated?
If they lost connection, if they lost internet access, I would get a notification.
Okay.
It was just even if it was just like temporary for like 10 minutes. I think there was like 5 minutes, it would be okay because there was that area where it would check and then it would wait 5 minutes. If it couldn't connect, it would send the alert. So, but at that point, something like this, I wouldn't. If power was out, this whole house, I don't think that email was really, telling us anything.
Sure.
At that point.
Right. I mean,
3:18 in the morning. Yeah.
and because if it was the result of power out, it's not like you'd be able to remote in and access anything.
Well, I couldn't either, right?
Right. And
Yeah.
Paul wouldn't be.
I tried. Yeah, I did try in the morning. I
Right.
tried to jump on the firewall and I couldn't connect.
Right.
That morning.
But you wouldn't have been able.
No. That's true.
And just to clarify this, it sounds like you were aware that in 2018, November 2018, there were ongoing contract negotiations between Square One and Duke?
Yeah.
Okay. And those were, my understanding is you never saw the actual specific contract proposals, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Did you believe at that time it was contemplated that you would stay on as a Square One employee?
At that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Black, thank you. I have nothing further.
Thank you. Decker?
No, sir, thank you.
Sir, you can step down. Thank you, sir.
You need this?
Just give that to Mr. Decker. Thank you. Decker, you want to call your next witness?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. The state calls Sergeant Matthew Cochran.
You're going to get coffee in a minute.
Yeah, I need something.
Sir, I'm going to call an audible on you for, if you don't mind hanging out for a second. We're going to take our 15-minute break. I want to make sure that we're good to go. So we're going to do it now. We'll start back. 15-minute break. I want to make sure that we're good to go. So we're going to do it now. We'll start back up at 3. I apologize. You can hang out in here, though, if you want. Please don't discuss. At 3.